It wasn't the avocado toast. It wasn't the streaming subscriptions. The arithmetic is merciless. When the supply of money expands faster than the supply of goods, prices must rise. This is not a theory. It is a law of economics as rigid as gravity. We look at the headlines in 2025. 73% of the population living paycheck to paycheck. Credit card balances hitting all-time highs. Savings rates plummeting to historic lows. People ask why they are drowning. They ask why working harder yields less. The answer lies in history. The pattern is unmistakable. It appears in every major civilization that reaches a specific point of maturity. The government overpromises. The bills come due. The revenue falls short. And the leadership faces a binary choice: austerity and immediate pain, or debasement and delayed catastrophe. The incentive is always to delay. Under these constraints, the rational move for the politician is to print. Let us look at the record. 3 specific cases, 3 specific eras, 1 identical outcome. First, the Roman Empire. The year is 64 AD. Emperor Nero faces a budget crisis. The Great Fire has devastated Rome. The legions demand payment. The treasury is empty. He cannot raise taxes without inciting a coup, so he orders the mint to reduce the silver purity of the denarius from 100% to 90%. It seems harmless. A small clip. But the seal was broken. Over the next centuries, emperors repeated the trick. They fought wars across Europe. They built grand monuments. But they did not increase domestic production. They only increased the money supply. This was the price revolution. Between 1500 and 1600, prices in Spain quadrupled. A peasant in Castile saw the price of wheat soar beyond his wages. The aristocracy, holding land and government titles, insulated themselves. The labor was crushed. A university professor, a man of status and education, finds his lifetime of savings cannot buy a single potato. He is forced to sell his library, book by book, to survive the winter. The speculators, those who borrowed heavily to buy factories and real estate, become the new kings. Society fractures. The chaos paves the way for extremism. The pattern repeats in 7 distinct stages. Stage 1 is sound money. The nation is young, productive, and the currency is backed by hard assets or strict discipline. Prosperity is real. Stage 2 is overextension. The nation takes on global responsibilities, fights wars, or builds massive social programs. Expenditures exceed revenue. Stage 3 is the turn. The government realizes it cannot pay its debts honestly. It begins to debase the currency, either by clipping coins, printing notes, or digitally expanding credit. This is often sold to the public as a temporary emergency measure or stimulus. Stage 4 is inflation. Prices begin to rise. The government blames speculators, greedy corporations, or foreign supply chains. They implement price controls, which only lead to shortages. The population feels the squeeze, but hopes it will pass. Stage 5 is asset flight. The smart money sees the writing on the wall. Capital flees the currency and moves into hard assets: gold, land, real estate, and commodities. This widens the wealth gap explosively. The middle class, holding cash or fixed income bonds, gets left behind. Stage 6 is the crack-up boom. Trust in the currency evaporates. People rush to exchange money for anything tangible. The velocity of money skyrockets. The economy appears to be booming. In nominal terms because the stock market is up, but in real terms, standards of living are collapsing. Stage 7 is the reset. The currency is abandoned. A new unit is introduced, often pegged to a hard asset or a foreign currency. Debts are wiped out, but so are savings. The wealth transfer is complete, just like Weimar. The United States in 2025 is flashing warning signs that map directly to Stage 5. The data is public. The national debt interest payments now exceed the defense budget. The central bank has expanded its balance sheet aggressively since 2008 and 2020. We see the asset flight in real time. Housing prices have decoupled from wages not because houses are better, but because the dollar is weaker. The 73% of Americans drowning financially are not drowning because they are incompetent. They are drowning because they are trying to swim upstream against the current of monetary debasement. The cost of living is rising because the denominator of the currency is shrinking. Some economists argue that this time is different. They point to the strength of the technology sector or the unique status of the dollar as the world reserve currency. They claim that modern monetary management can smooth out the cycles and prevent the collapse seen in Rome or Weimar. But consider the incentives. The debt load is so high that the government cannot allow interest rates to remain positively high for long without bankrupting the Treasury. The only path out is to keep interest rates below the rate of inflation. This is called financial repression. It is a deliberate transfer of wealth from savers to debtors. The government is the biggest debtor. You are the saver. The mechanism is designed to erode your purchasing power to pay off the state's liabilities. The technology sector may produce deflationary pressure, but the monetary expansion overwhelms it. History shows that reserve currency status is a privilege, not a permanent law of nature. When the privilege is abused, the status is lost. We are left with 3 potential endgames. The first is controlled decline. This is the path of the British Empire after 1945. Over 3 decades, the British pound lost its dominance. It was a slow, painful grind. Living standards stagnated. The empire was dismantled. Capital controls were imposed. It wasn't an explosion, but a long suffocation. The second is chaotic collapse. This is the Soviet Union in 1991 or Venezuela today. The system breaks suddenly. Supply chains halt. The currency goes to zero. Social order disintegrates. This usually happens when the production base has been completely destroyed alongside the currency. The third is reset and restructure. This is Germany in 1948. The old currency is declared void. A new currency is issued. Holders of the old money lose almost everything. Holders of real assets keep their wealth. It is a hard restart that clears the debt but wipes out the middle-class savings accounts. The only variable is timing and pain. If you found this analysis valuable, subscribe for more briefings on the mechanics of this transition. We cannot predict the exact day the music stops, but we can prepare for the silence that follows. Educate yourself on financial history. Build resilience in your skills. Pay attention to the data, not the rhetoric.